I had a friend over for coffee yesterday, and one of the things I told her the story of my neighbor and how she came over and wouldn't leave despite being told to leave, that we're not having this conversation right now, and couldn't close the door, couldn't end the conversation, the interaction. Part of what came out of that conversation with my friend is this realization that the funny thing was that is what happens with the neighbor. It was like a forced conversation that in no way was like a good conversation because it was forced, right? Like one party was like, no, this isn't happening right now. And the other one was like, you're gonna listen. This is gonna happen right now in my way. And the violence is from the force, because I'm here to have conversations. The difficult ones, all of them, the uncomfortable ones, but I get to choose when I'm a part of them. Everyone gets to choose when they're a part of them. And the beauty that comes from being part of a chosen conversation where people feel safe and heard, and we can have the difficult conversations, but only people who need to have those conversations and want to have those conversations have to participate. Forcing people to have difficult conversations is not okay. Not listening to people's clear signals of like, this conversation isn't happening right now. I have adrenaline running through my body. It's not safe. I need to go and not be part of this conversation. Just that realization that like it's the voluntary piece that went from it being like a really bad interaction to being a really positive interaction. My interactions, like my whole life is revolving around a conversation. Having a conversation one way on YouTube, having lots of conversations that are two-way on video chat or more than two-way in groups, and thriving from that. Like people who are choosing to be part of those conversations, choosing to interact in a way, and when things fall apart even a little bit, owning it, making amends, figuring out how to move forward together. And as an individual, right? Like, where did I go wrong? How do I apologize for it? How do I fix it? And that's to me the big difference, like this capitalism versus communism debate. That we can't get rid of capitalism because communism is the alternative. And to me, capitalism is forced competition. It's like you compete or you starve. And communism is forced cooperation. It's do what's better for the group, or you starve, or you go, get imprisoned. And so it's not competition versus cooperation. It's forced competition versus forced cooperation. And I think both of those things, when done voluntarily, have a much better impact. If you can voluntarily choose where in your life you're competing so that you're getting the biggest benefit as an individual, right? Like, never are we outlawing sports and competition. And if it helps you thrive, we should have it. But forcing people who don't thrive in competition to have to compete is unkind and violent. Similarly, forcing people who don't want to be in cooperation, who don't want to do what's in it for the greater good, who don't want to work unless someone's working more, right? Who don't want to produce the most, be the most that they want to be because they see it as it's forced. They don't want to do it because it's forced. Whereas when you can tap into the voluntary nature of both of those things, and you can choose as the individual how much competition's in your life and how much cooperation, and see the benefits of cooperation and competition, and like truly see the benefits and get the benefits back, then I believe you'll choose cooperation more often. But not everybody will. Competition is still an important aspect of our society that people thrive under. But forced competition, not okay. Forced cooperation, equally, if not more violent in history. And so having voluntary cooperation, where everything is an attractor. If it can be done better with competition, it's going to be done better with competition. And if it can be done better with cooperation, it's going to be done better with cooperation. And in that realm, I believe cooperation outcompetes competition. A voluntary cooperative that you can come and get your needs met and be heard and help improve it, outcompetes competition that is like, we're in it for ourselves, the biggest firm wins, and that you get richer and richer and richer. Because this has one winner, and this has everyone winning. But outlawing this hurts this. And forcing this hurts this. So it's the voluntary piece that we are tapping into. And that came up about my purpose right now is to have conversations. And the one that was forced on me was the violent one, the one that is not welcome in my life or community. And it was the forced piece that was the problem. Thank you.